Hi, welcome back to part 2, The Mughals. M-U-G-H-A-L. 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 Spells Mughals. All right, here we go. Number 1 under Mughals. Babur. B-A-B-U-R. I like that name. Babur. Sounds like somebody on a magic carpet. Babur. Which it might be because he is a descendant of the Persians. Babur, a leader who claimed to be a descendant from Genghis Khan, K-H-A-N. And you're saying, well, wait, Mr. Happy, you just said a descendant from the Persians. Well, hang on. Was very much a Muslim, M-U-S-L-I-M, Muslim. Of course, we know Muslim came from the Saudi Arabia area, well, Iran area, Iraq area, invaded northern India. All right, Babur, a Muslim, invades northern India. Claiming he is a descendant from the great Genghis Khan, comes into northern India. Now, what religion are most Indians? Did you say Presbyterian? Because if you did, you would be wrong. Most Indians, of course, are Hindu. All right, so we have a Muslim invaded Hindu land. Get that going. In 1526, he defeated the Delhi Sultanate, S-U-L-T-A-N-A-T-E, the Delhi Sultanate, S-U-L-T-A-N-A-T-E. Again, if you need to rewind and get a spell on, or if you need to pause at any time, just walk over and hit that pause button. Perfect, just like that, that'll work. Babur started a new empire in India called the Mughal Empire, M-U-G-H-A-L, the Mughal Empire. Remember, we just got there talking about the Manchu. Now we're moving a little bit to India, the Mughal Empire. And it controlled the subcontinent for almost 300 years. That's a long time, 300 years. Let's just wait for 300 years and see how long it is. How many years is that? Okay. There's really no one over there. All right, number 3. Within about 150 years, the Mughal Empire was able to unite almost all of India. Which really hadn't been done. There had been several subgroups running it. India, just in its history, never united under one ruler. Even when Ashoka, my man, Ashoka, he was not able to gather all of India. You know, if you look on the Ashokan Empire, if you remember that image, it wasn't covering all of India by any means. The Gupta Empire didn't cover all of India by any means. The Mughal Empire did cover more than anyone else did. All right, Babur's grandson, you know his name. Go ahead and say it. Babur's grandson. You've heard about him. Starts with a letter. Akbar, 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 A-K-B-A-R, Akbar. Ruled from 1556 to 1605. He was able to unify much of India by governing under a policy of religious toleration. Akbar realized, I've got Hindus here and I've got Muslims here. Why can't we all just get along? That was kind of Akbar's thing. You do your 5 pillars, you do your Rig Veda, the Hindus. There's no reason we shouldn't just be able to get along with each other. He allowed Hinduism and Islam to practice openly. Openly. This is the universal sign for openly. Feel free to do that right now. Openly. And what is being openly? Religious tolerance. Hindus and Muslims worshiping side by side. Well, not side by side, but church to mosque. Actually, temple to mosque. Letter B, eliminated the jizya. That is spelled J-I-Z-Y-A. J-I-Z-Y-A. What that was, a tax on all Hindus just because you're Hindu. Under the Delhi Sultanate prior to that, who was a Muslim, if you were Hindu, you had to pay a tax. The whole goal was just become a Muslim. You don't have to pay the jizya anymore. Well, Akbar got rid of that. So, of course, the Hindus are saying, Akbar, we like you. You're a good guy. Letter C, improved the position of women by doing away with the sati, S-A-T-I, which was the practice of high caste Hindu women would throw themselves onto their husband's funeral pyres, which is another word for fires. Hindus, of course, believe in reincarnation, and the body they cremate. All Hindus are cremated. You go Google that up. Google up cremation along the Ganges. It'll freak you out. I mean, just all these funeral fires are going along, and then they dump the ashes into the Ganges. By the way, don't drink any water from the Ganges. It was customary before this time, with the sati, for the woman, once the husband's body is burning, for her to just come running up and flip on and land on the fire and burn herself also. Basically, it shows women's role. You are nothing without a man. Why are you even walking around? Your husband's dead. Might as well join him. Akbar did away with that. He said, no, you don't have to do that anymore. That's stupid. All right. Letter D. Akbar even married a Hindu woman. What? A Hindu woman. Remember, Akbar is Muslim, and he marries a Hindu woman. And put Hindus in government positions. So Akbar, being a Muslim, he realized, man, you got some brains. Why don't you come do this? Well, I'm Hindu. I don't care. I'm Muslim. You're Hindu. I married a Hindu. Come on in. Akbar was cool. For about 100 years, Hindus and Muslims lived side by side, and all was just peachy. Everything is good. This was the golden age of art, architecture, and thought. Akbar's grandson, Shah Jahan, built the Taj Mahal, T-A-J-M-A-H-A-L, T-A-J-M-A-H-A-L, Taj Mahal, which, by the way, is a tomb for his wife. The Taj Mahal is actually a tomb. All right, number 5. A new Mughal empire came to power. Aurangzeb. You don't have to know that. Just know a different guy came in. And kind of look at the name, Aurangzeb, who was very devout Muslim. Very devout Muslim. And he changed the whole thing. Everything Akbar got started, his son and his grandson, Aurangzeb came in and said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. He enacted pro-Muslim policies. Like Muslims got the best jobs, Hindus got the worst jobs. It was definitely very pro-Muslim. Letter B, reinstated the jizya, which of course was the tax. J-I-Z-Y-A, jizya. Letter C, Hindu temples were destroyed. Hindu temples were destroyed. You want to tick off a religious group, go destroy their temples. Letter D, by 1700, Muslims began to persecute Hindus. Muslims began to persecute Hindus. All right. Kind of off base here a little bit, but let's go. Let me see my time. We're good. Another new development was the arrival of the Europeans. The Portuguese and the British, mainly, were fighting each other for the Indian Ocean trade routes. Indian Ocean trade routes. Remember, we've talked about this before. Both of them wanted a monopoly on the Indian Ocean trade. Well, if you could do that, you controlled everything. But we realized that never happened. No one really got a monopoly. The very best thing, the closest thing to it were the trading post empires, where you just conquered a trading post, and that was it. All right. Stand by. I dropped these and it all went to heck. Should have a 7s coming up somewhere. Ah, here we go. All right. Portugal had established trade. We're on, hey, ooh, did y'all see them off? Portugal had established trade with the city of Galle, India, western coast of India, where it also sent Christian missionaries. Christian missionaries. Remember the Council of Trent. You know, the Pope says, hey, all you countries, when you find new places, you have to Christianize them. By 1661, the British East India Company, joint stock company, had control of the west coast city of Bombay, B-O-M-B-A-Y. Point being, the Mughal Empire is running India, but you have these other countries starting to move into India. You know, Portugal and England maybe. And we're about to find out England ends up pretty much taking over India. Mughal emperors were generally annoyed with the European, hey, aren't we all really? Generally annoyed with the Europeans, but liked the trade and considered them to be harmless. You know, you have all these English controlling ports over here. You had Portuguese controlling ports over here. Well, the Mughals will look at it and go, man, you people are funny looking, you're talking a funny language, but man, I'm making some money on you. They don't realize what's about to happen. They're letting mainly England get a foothold on their land. They had no idea the Industrial Revolution would come and England would look at India as nothing more than a huge country with tons of resources they could take. When we get in the next unit, talk about the Industrial Revolution, England's going to realize, well, we're kind of here, and man, you got a bunch of stuff we need. And our army's a whole lot better than your army because you're not industrialized. You're still running around with, well, you do have some weapons. All right. Number 9, they certainly didn't predict that about a century later, the Queen of England would crown herself Empress of India. The Queen of England sits on the throne of England, and also she will sit on the throne of India, and therefore disposing of the Mughal Empire. But that's to come ahead. We don't need to know that now. We just need to know about the Mughal Empire. So we've got 2 land empires we've done. The Manchu or the Qing and the Mughals. Manchu, Qing in China and the Mughals in India. All right, we're going to move on to part 3 in just a moment. So I'm going to stop it here because I can't download more than a certain amount. So next coming up is the Ottomans.